Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
All right, hello and welcome to Wednesday night Sports Minute, brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I'm the host tonight, Big B. Our normal host, Adam, aka Ace, is on his way to Wisconsin for the Vikings-Packer game. So I hope he has a safe flight. Him and his brother have a safe flight there and back. So joining me tonight, we got Crispy Bacon, who's normally behind the scenes. How you doing, Crispy?
I'm doing good. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing okay. And then also joining us, you've seen him before on MI6. You've seen him on trivia and other shows on Coast to Coast here. John Elkhorn, how you doing, bud?
Chris, you could have said I'm doing crispy or something really stupid, but never mind.
Maybe I'll do that. I'll do that next time. I didn't do that.
Doing well. Just kind of interested to see. I was kind of bummed out. Isaiah couldn't come on. I was really curious to see some sports comments, but
we'll see if he said he might get on in a little bit. He was doing some family things, so
we'll see.
With that being said, John, I know, Chris, we're sport fans, football fans. Yesterday we got word we lost an icon coach, broadcaster, player,
entrepreneur,
video game entrepreneur, Mr. John Madden. There you go. So John, I'm going to start with you because you said in the chat that he's one of the reasons, if not the reason, you got into broadcasting. So let's talk about that on your feelings with John Madden.
Back in the day, when I first started watching my first football game, it was the 2006 Rose Bowl. And that was right around the time I started getting into like video games. I got my first PS2. And I remember playing, I think it was Madden 04, Madden 05. And if you remember Madden 04, you just as long as you don't play with the Falcons, you're good to go because literally Michael Vick would destroy you all across the board. But then there was this broadcaster, maybe he did some corny stuff, but I was like, you know what? I know that's going to be a hard field, but I'm just going to go into it. So I continued to play Madden for a really long time. And then I just see a lot of his broadcasts. It's like, I remember, I think I told my parents I was probably 8, 9, maybe even 10 years old at the time. I was like, this is what I want to do. Like this, John makes it fun. A lot of times we think of the great calls of the Brandon Stokely touchdown or the 06 Rose Bowl. Those are great. But John Madden brought a different type of energy and fun to the game. Like it's not just, he had this great call at the end of the game. It was how he incorporated during the Thanksgiving games, the boom, the pow, the personality. And you're not really going to have a coach or, unfortunately, his career ended very early in college, what would have been a potential great player in college, if not the NFL. And I said this before, when I wanted to become a broadcaster, play-by-play one day, I didn't want to be Skip Bayless. I didn't want to be Shannon Sharp. I wanted to be honest, the next John Madden, because he brought fun to the game. And a lot of times there's some great broadcasters out there, but there wasn't another guy like John Madden. And I think when I said that I looked up to him or he was his hero, it was because he was the one that I guess got me and said, hey, I love the game of football. And a lot of times people just, this is the game of football. But unless you're like a true fan, like you need to understand how great the game of football is on and off the field. Think about with the Raiders back, guarantee I wish I was born in the 60s and 70s. They see some of those great rivalries, but Yeah, he was. I don't get. Obviously, never met him. He was one of my ultimate goals for people to interview, and so I was kind of thinking, oh no, when this came out, the documentary, I was like, oh no, did he potentially pass away, or maybe something's I don't know. And unfortunately, he did pass away, and he gets someone that I looked up to, and definitely want to have a career like his, because you can't. A lot of times we talk about Brady or Manning, you can't tell the story of Fox without John Madden. And I think Shannon Sharp said it best the other day. Fox Sports would just be a news network if it or all around network if it wasn't for John Madden. And they paid him more at the time than the NBA paid Michael Jordan. And I had no idea. Because they believed him, what he did. And for him to want to have this video game, guaranteed the EA has disrespected Madden with Madden 12 and beyond, but overall, kind of getting to experience, hey, let's bring on a video game. We love the passion of the game. Let's bring it to a video game. I've had probably almost a couple of controllers broken from playing Madden, as we all know. But there's a lot of those. Some of my best childhood memories I probably had around the holidays or during the summer, during the school year, was playing the old Madden games and kind of understanding, oh, I like this. Who's this guy? It's Manning, and getting to learn different things about Madden and how he got to his career to where he was. And I don't know, there's not much else to say. It's still kind of a shock, but he was definitely a true inspiration, no doubt.
No doubt. I mean, like you said, John, the calls that he made, I mean, from coaching to the broadcast booth, I mean, just looking at his coaching record alone, 103, 32, and 7 regular season, 9-7 in the playoffs. I mean,
Won
you know,
Super Bowl 11, the best greatest coaching
Yep.
record of all time.
Yeah, I was going to
Yep.
say he boasts the best winning percentage of any Raiders coach.
And that
yeah,
was back then in Smash Mouth football. And so
Yep,
that's
that
part.
was
If it
that was
wasn't
and
for
that,
him, if it wasn't for him, I don't think, to be honest, I would probably
no,
try to get in
and
this field right now.
one thing, just looking up and not knowing, I honestly did not realize he was born here in Austin, Minnesota. I did not know that. But most of his life
I
was
didn't
out
know
in
he was part of
California.
the Eagles, but he was.
Yeah, he was drafted, I think somebody said 21st round when they had all those rounds back in the day by the Eagles.
But
But a
he
lot
never
of us
played.
know him as the coach. John and Chris, you guys know more, probably for the game of Madden football. You
I've
know, you
seen.
t-
I saw a couple games with him
yeah,
broadcasting.
but I mean,
Some of my
you
favorite
know,
childhood memories is my mom introduced me to Hey Football, NBC, CBS. I was
yep,
like Al Michaels. A few people have the voice. Al Michaels has the
yep,
voice. John Madden had the voice, and
John
I
Buck.
could just listen to him talking football all day. It's something very special.
Honestly, I ain't gonna lie though. The only time I did not really care to listen to John Madden was during Packer games because he was so far all over Brett Favre. Brett Favre this, Brett Favre that. It just got Brett Favre is the only quarterback that could ever make that pass. Brett Favre is the only one that could do this, and it's just like, come on, John. But you knew if you turned on the TV and you in the broadcast booth was John Madden, Pat Summerall, that game
You sat down.
what was the game of the week. So. And he traveled by bus. I mean,
well, and it was
he had the fear of flying, so he traveled
yes.
to every game every year by bus. I mean, just think how many miles that bus put on. But he said he enjoyed it. He enjoyed stopping at little towns, getting a bite to eat at these hole in the wall restaurants, meeting people. So, I mean,
And what's cool is too that a lot of the stuff you see on broadcast today, is because of him. The telestrator, the markers on the field telling you the first down, whatever it is.
mm-hmm.
He kind of led the charge, and also broadcast never had production meetings. He was the first broadcaster to do that.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't imagine a childhood without again back in the current Madden games because he has disrespected his name since 2012. But I applaud what they said yesterday. I can't imagine a childhood without watching NBC, CBS back in the day, or playing the old Madden games. There's just, I don't know, like it's weird, like watching the game of football or basketball. Like there's just something about it.
No, what do you mean by he got disrespected 2012? I guess I don't know.
Because they made the games garbage, and
Oh.
if this is supposed to be his game, you need to make it to the best of your ability. How hard he worked to put that same ability into Madden.
Okay.
And
I
so,
get what you're
but
saying.
overall, like the older games, like there was just from 04 to 012, I think that was my childhood. And if it wasn't for Madden and that, half of my Saturdays, I don't honestly know because my cousin, I used to play on the PSP, and I used to.
Yep.
My cousin pissed me off because he used to be able to juke all around and injure all my players to where my punter was a starting quarterback, and so some misery, but it was definitely a lot of memories.
Yeah, the game. I mean, the game goes all the way back to '88 when it was just called John Madden Football. Then they started using the years John Madden Football '92, and then it was for a couple years. Then it was Madden NFL '94, all the way to Madden Football for the '64, and then it was Madden Football NFL 2001 is when he started putting other people on the covers. First cover was Eddie George, and that's where we started getting what everybody calls the Madden jinx. You didn't want to be on the cover, but yet you wanted to be on the cover. So,
Yeah.
But I mean, just think of the game perspective. Everybody now looks for all the players now look for the release of Madden because they want to see what their rating score is. It's a game, and if they're not happy with their ratings, they blast it on Twitter, YouTube, all those social media websites.
I
It's
should
like,
be a 99.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, John Madden brought, is still bringing a lot to the game,
Well,
realistically and not realistic,
well,
So
well, and like you were saying, John, you played with your the game with your brother, and you tried to beat him and all that, and
mhm.
for a lot of kids, it was used as a teaching tool to learn the game of football.
Yeah,
And it was back in the day for sure. And I think a lot of times people just look at it as just a game, but like all those things that you love were like, oh, what's that? That's because of this man, John Madden. And I think this is what, and I told my cousin this. She has a 3-month-old daughter, and I told her there are 2 things I'm going to teach her is church and football, and so on. And then she said, and so she needs to understand the game of football. They're a Cowboys fan, unfortunately, so she needs to instill on how to learn about football. And that's just if it wasn't for him, I don't know. Really, to be honest, where the game of football would have been today.
And
exactly.
even in his
You're right.
broadcasts, he made it. He tried to make it simple for the viewers.
Exactly, and that's what viewers like. Maybe people that are watching that we don't know about, or others. Because when I was a kid, I didn't understand that. Okay, it's a football. You got 6 points. What to do?
Yep.
But making it simple and then playing football. Oh, this is 3 points. This is a field goal before all the other overtime rules and all these other things. And if it wasn't for him, I honestly would probably be working to make. I don't know. They would be doing some random job out there, not having a career.
Yep. No, and then he's been a cameo in a few movies, Little Giants, the TV show The Simpsons. He's had small cameos in that. Replacements. He had a cameo in that movie, but overall, I mean, it was a sad day. And like I said in the chats, honestly, not to be cold-hearted, I actually thought the guy passed away. A few years ago. When I think it was Chris that put it in the chat, I actually researched it. I'm like, no, what? So I was actually shocked that I was wrong.
I was worried that when they put this out, I was like, oh no, it was just because this is his last days of his life. I was just maybe I was freaking out, like oh no. And I'm not saying that's the case. That's just a conspiracy theory, but
they've been promoting that for like since September.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's true.
And he's been out of the spotlight for at least good
2000
years.
2001, I think was
06 is when he completely.
Okay,
I think
well, the
06.
Steelers Cardinals was his last Super Bowl.
That's right.
Yeah, they did bring him back for a Super Bowl. That is right.
Yeah.
Justin puts in there. Do we know what he died from? I
We
haven't heard
don't.
nothing
My
yet.
parents think.
I'm
My
guessing
parents
just
think
old
heart
age.
attack.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm going with. I mean, would assume. I don't know. I don't think the
right.
NFL even brought anything out.
No.
So, um, just kind of looking over some, facts of his. Like I said, didn't know he was from Minnesota, but I did know that he always
Hmm.
parked his man cruiser here in Minnesota, had his storage facilities. So,
He actually got to watch his documentary 3 days before he passed. I saw an article.
oh, nice. That's good for him. I'm glad he got to see that. Um, Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2006, which
Hmm.
again wouldn't be wasn't a shocker that he'd get into there.
I don't know. He said he
Um,
was shocked about it.
It took too long though, to be honest.
It
Like
did.
this guy
yeah,
should have been. If it
yeah.
wasn't for him, I don't know if the NFL would be
Uh,
15% of what it would be today.
But the thing is, you have younger voters in the Hall of Fame that vote for this stuff,
yeah.
and it's hard for the older players and personnel to get in.
So I didn't know this either. He's got like 5 books out. I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that.
The first one was released in '86. 1 knee equals to 2 feet. Everything else you need to know about football.
I learned that the other day.
One size doesn't fit all was his second book in '88. He actually released 2 books in '88. The first book of football, and then they released a book in '96. All Madden. Hey, I'm talking pro football by John Madden with David Anderson. And then in '84, you also had one. Hey, wait a minute! I wrote a book. So, so,
uh,
so let's get into. Uh, I'm assuming we're going to see probably a movie down the road. You know, who could you guys see playing John Madden?
ooh,
Hmm.
I have to think about that one because
That's hard though because this is not like this. If you played like a one of Kurt Warner again, he had a phenomenal
Yep,
career. We'll see that movie tomorrow.
I can't wait to see that movie. Yeah.
I'm seeing it tomorrow, but
Okay.
I don't know. Like like it
What
would have to
about
be the perfect person because this guy is a legend.
uh let me see if I can pull up who I'm thinking of. Uh I'm trying to think of the guy from Mad TV. Uh
I haven't watched that show in like forever.
Will Sarzo, Sasso, who used to do Madden impressions. Kind of looks
Ooh,
like him.
okay. You thought of impressions.
Yeah.
Caliendo.
Frank Caliendo, he's another good one. That would be a good one too. I don't think he looks too much like Madden. Like
No, but he has the voice.
he does
He
have the
has the
voice.
voice. If he had to
Yeah.
do narration, he
I'm
could
being
do it.
honest. I don't think I've seen anybody that looks like him. So it's not like the one with the guy that played Kurt Warner. At least it looks somewhat like him, but I don't know.
If you type in Will's Sasso, Sasso, I think he kind of looks like Madden and he can do impressions. But yeah,
I feel
that definitely would be a tough one to Adam
Yeah,
Sandler would be amazing.
I was gonna say I don't
I don't.
think Adam
I don't.
Sandler's good for that.
No, that would be a terrible choice because you have to have that type of energy that Madden had for football, and
You
there's very few people like that in the league right now,
you,
What
you could
about
do.
or actors.
Go ahead.
what about oh god no, his name just slipped my mind. Um uh not what show was it? Oh god, I can't think of it now. Mall Cop.
Oh,
Um
Kevin.
Kevin James.
Kevin James. Yeah.
If he had to, well,
Like, I'm trying to think of somebody because I've watched a lot of movies, but
Yeah.
you
it's
could do you could do Frank Caliendo for like narration.
Yeah, Frank Kelly I think would be a good narrator of Madden's life in spots and stuff, but I think to act for him, I
Oh
think you'd
yeah,
have to go with Kevin James or Will Sarzo. I'm sorry if I Kevin James played Sean Payton. Did he?
I think there's a
Yeah.
Netflix movie or something coming out about that. You know that issue back in the day when they had not Spygate, but it was
Oh,
There's
it's coming out
Bounty
next
Gate.
year, I think.
Bounty Gate,
yes, where they killed the Vikings. Yeah,
or they killed Favre, whichever.
yeah, which not to get off sidetracked. Anybody that thinks the Vikings would have won that Super Bowl or should have been in the Super Bowl need to go rewatch that game because they beat themselves in that one. So
I mean, just ask Tracy Porter. Cough, cough. Sorry, not
yeah,
sorry. Tracy Porter should own a stake in the Vikings. He should be a co-owner
he
of
should be
the
cool.
Vikings.
Just like
Aaron
Or
Rodgers
see,
is available.
I was gonna say Aaron Rodgers with the Bears. So yeah, that movie's coming out. So
that's
we'll
hard
move on.
though. Y'all
We'll
have
move on.
good two suggestions,
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think it would be more of a documentary instead of a movie. I think like you had that Tom Brady one. Regardless of what you
yeah,
think about Tom Brady, that was well done. But
yeah.
I think it'd
Well,
be more of a again. That's my opinion, but I think documentary would be interesting, going behind the scenes and be like what he really went through as a broadcaster. Maybe
and
as
you
an
can use
opportunity for people that want to be that. Hey, this is an opportunity. This is what it's like. If you're really about that life,
Yeah.
this is an opportunity.
yeah,
No,
and you
I
can use
definitely
old
think we're going
footage.
to see some. We're going to see some documentaries, movies, stuff like that come out of John Madden here down next few years. I think so.
Yeah.
So moving on to other sports or topics, I'm looking here. Bowl game. That's right now. The Ducks are losing to Oklahoma 47-32.
Ooh.
So what do you guys think of that right now? Shocker, non-shocker?
I find it hilarious because Isaiah was talking about, oh, the Oregon Ducks, they're back. They beat Ohio State. They're the best team in the nation. Oh my gosh, they're gonna win it all. When they came and get the rubber ducky out of the bathtub. No, you're like Isaiah. I would love for Isaiah to be on because it has been a week for Isaiah Leon about teams and quarterbacks. But I mean, it's kind of like now. I mean, even if you win or lose, it's like, hey, you got a new head coach. What's really are you trying to win it, or what's the point? If you win or lose, you're kind of in this rebuild phase, regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, this is basically. It's not a preseason game, but you can say it is because Oregon has a new coach,
Mhm.
and this is his first game. Luckily, it's not the championship game. It's not even close to that. But
So you think Isaiah will come out
it's a
and
team
say
to chase it.
Oregon needs? So do you think Isaiah will come out and say Oregon needs to fire their coach after this game because they blew it, or?
Probably. He's going to say he's the worst coach ever. He shouldn't have been hired.
You should have been fired a long time ago.
So speaking of the games coming up, is it Saturday or Friday night?
Friday's
Friday
the playoff game.
So we got Michigan and Georgia Michigan versus Georgia, and then Alabama versus Cincy. I know there's a lot of talk COVID related that possibly pushing these games back, but it sounds like the NCAA is saying nope, we're playing them. Whoever wins wins. If we need a forfeit, the team will move on. That doesn't have to forfeit. So first off, who are you guys picking in these games, Chris?
I'm going with Cincinnati and Georgia.
Ooh, that'd be a huge upset. John, how about you? Who are you going for?
Between Cincinnati and Georgia, I mean, this is gonna be talked about for a long time, regardless of the outcome, because we wanted Cincinnati, and let's give them a chance. Well, this is your chance. If they screw it up, it's gonna screw up for a lot of teams moving forward, and you're not gonna have that opportunity ever again or for a very long time. But I mean, I picked Georgia. I mean, they have that defense. They play phenomenal all year, and so I give the edge to Georgia.
So you're going Georgia Bama then, or who are you going with?
I would. I mean, it'd be Georgia Bama would be interesting, but I just don't see how Cincy could do it because we don't have a body of work of them in the playoffs.
Okay.
But again, I could be wrong.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now. I mean, I think we're going to see Bama Georgia, but I am really hoping that we get Michigan Cincinnati. I'm so sick of Bama Georgia. I know that's what a lot
Believe
of
me, I
fans
agree.
want.
I would rather want it be the opposite, but
Yeah.
it's just
No, I know there's a lot of fans that want that. I know the NCAA wants that. I mean, that's the moneymaker, no doubt. But like you said, John, if Cincy doesn't get in, they're gonna these teams that are undefeated that are no name schools. It's gonna be a hard time before they get put back in the rankings. So Cincy has a lot riding on their shoulders right now, and so does um, Harbaugh in Michigan. So I think. I would definitely love to see Michigan, Cincy. I don't want people to come on. Told you Alabama, Georgia were going to win. I
Har-
think that's going to be the matchup, but I'm just saying, I want to see Michigan, Cincy. So
Harbaugh hadn't
But
been
do
to a
we want to
title
see that
game.
though? Because then Isaiah would be in the group chat all the time. So it's kind of like a lesser of two evils at that point.
well, but we all know Isaiah. No matter what side of the ball he's on, he's going to be on the opposite ball when it comes to the national championship game.
Exactly.
So
Harbaugh
if
hadn't
it's
been to a championship game since the Super Bowl. So
Exactly
yeah,
against the
Ravens, his
Ravens.
brother.
yeah,
It was brother versus brother
yep,
matchup.
yeah. And I think that if it wasn't for Harbaugh beating Ohio State, I think he'd be looking at the Chicago Bears job once that opens up. But I think he's kind of got his meal ticket right now for Michigan for a few years. So
Yeah, that
yeah,
definitely saved his job. Yeah,
yeah, and I'm not saying that if the Bears job opens up that they're not going to reach out to him because they will reach out to him. I mean,
I think
you're
that's
gonna
one head coach hire that would work.
It would work,
yeah.
but then who would be the GM? Because you're firing Ryan Pace, so there's a lot of everybody cares to see who they would pick as his GM if this does happen. I think it'd be a good fit, but to be honest,
Yeah, you're right. GM wise, who would go there? I mean, you're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna see too many coaches get the GM spot like you know a lot of coaches have gotten because that's a lot of power to give one coach. One person. So we'll
It's
see how
very
that breaks
rare.
down. So let's move on. Looking at some scores here. I see the mighty Lakers have fallen again. I think we're all happy with that. I don't think we need to go into too much discussion with that, but unless you want to laugh at Isaiah, you know, I think that's good there. Um, John, I know you're not much of a basketball guy. I know you're not a baseball guy. I know that for a fact, but
well, we'll see next year. But I heard the Celtics attempted 42 threes tonight, and they only made like 3 or 4. That's so. Oh my gosh.
really, okay,
I think there's a group chat here on MS6 or Coast to Coast. Let me pull that up. Yeah, Adam said, Jesus, Celtics took 42 threes tonight and made 4. Like
wow,
I don't think the 3 of us are all stars, but we can make more 3. We could be better than 4 for 42. Let's just say that right now.
wow,
True.
yeah, that is
Because now Brad Stevens became the GM. He stepped down as head coach. So
who did
Brad Stevens, remember the
really?
Celtics? He said because remember they were looking. I'm pretty sure I may be wrong on that. So now he came. I think he was GM, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong.
44 for 42. Yeah, that's not that's not pretty good.
That's dog crap. That's dog
Yeah,
crap. Like
especially when especially when your team that you're facing shoots 11 for 28.
yeah, he's their executive for the Celtics. He's a
Yeah,
former coach for them. So
yeah,
this is, I think, a dog with 3 feet could shoot better. Like you can't be that bad and expect to at best get that extra spot for the playoffs
yeah,
or the
exactly.
play-in tournament.
Yeah. And speaking of that playing tournament, now I was reading a few days ago or last week that there's been talk of doing a midseason tournament in the NBA.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
WNBA did that this past
Yep,
season,
yep, and that's where it's coming from. So
but it didn't. But it didn't have any implications in the playoff picture.
yeah, yeah,
I
I
think it was like for extra money and bragging rights.
yeah, yeah. I think the winning team players will get like a grand apiece to do it if they can. But I mean,
And
what
I
are you
think
gonna?
it
I
goes
mean,
towards your regular season schedule, your standings.
yeah. So what do you guys think? I mean, John, I'm guessing you're against it. I mean,
Well, this is stupid. You already have people having issues, and this is just my opinion. People having issues of the play-in tournament because you know what's going to happen. Those teams that have to make the play-in tournament, you're
Yep.
not getting to the finals. You're not getting to the second or third round. This is not a magical story of the Giants to Eli beating Brady. So you already have that as a question mark, and then you're bringing this in for what? Is this going to get guys that are practice squad players more playing time? So it's basically like a mid-season tryout, and then
yeah.
they get on the team, they get a chance in the teams form their starting five. I don't know. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense if you already have issues with the playing tournament. But I mean, again, I'm not.
I'm with you, John. I mean, what's next? I mean, baseball goes to a play-in tournament or a mid-season tournament. Football goes into the last four teams get to have a mid-season tournament because we know they're out of it. I mean,
If
Well,
it doesn't
I think
affect
what
your
you could,
playoff seeding, what's the point of doing it at all? Like, it just doesn't make any
exactly.
sense. It's basically just a less interesting, less all-star break.
Yep.
here's what you could do with the NFL is you could have, I don't know, the last 4 teams, playing some kind of tournament, for the 1, 2, 3, 4 seed.
That would get away from tanking, I guess, as everybody likes to think teams do. But
Especially if you had a tie, you could break it up instead
yeah,
of a
I don't know.
quick
I
trip.
I mean, one, I hope NFL and MLB don't go into this mid-season tournament. Hockey, same way. And I hope the basketball doesn't either. I'm not much of a big
Well,
basketball guy, but
well, I mean, the MLS, when they came back from COVID, they had the MLS's back tournament.
yeah, it's not soccer. Soccer seems to be the one that does all these little mid-season tournaments. Let them have it.
Yeah.
Let them do it. Uh, Justin is saying that the Utah Jazz are going to win the title this year.
I look, I will
We'll
not. I
keep our
can't.
eye on that, but I doubt it.
I will not respond to comments that make me want to jump to the moon.
Yeah, they're sitting at what, third right now, 25-9. I
I
mean,
mean, it's
Phoenix and
possible, but
yeah,
it's just, I think it's one of those teams that are like the Kristaps Porzingis of teams, where they're like close to
yep,
reaching their potential, but
And we're doing good then.
they never get there. And I don't know if part of it, I think they had the injury last year to one of their main players, if I'm not
yep.
mistaken. And so if he comes back healthy, there's a chance. We saw this in 2017, 2018, 2019, and unfortunately it didn't happen in 2020. I don't want to be that team like, oh, they almost did it. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's what they are. And again, I hope they improve, but him come back from that big injury,
I mean,
don't rush it.
I think the Western Conference is going to come down to probably Golden State, Phoenix, and Utah. But I mean, you look at the Eastern Conference, you got the Brooklyn Nets, you got the Bulls, you got the defending champ Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, it should be good for a good playoff if you're a football fan. I mean, Utah has
Mhm.
Danny Ainge in there. Yeah. I mean, but you can say that, a lot of teams have former players running the show. I mean, hopefully Minnesota wise up and they bring Kevin Garnett in to help run the organization once A-Rod and crew take over and get his jersey retired. I think that's the one thing. That's the one thing definitely Minnesota Timberwolves need is they need to officially retire Garnett's number and get him into the organization.
They
So
need to, because I don't know what's going on. It's almost like
there's some bad blood between him and Glenn Taylor. I know Garnett wanted to buy the team, had the money, had the backing, and he said no. No matter what the price was, he said no. So Garnett's
Yeah,
hurt. Garnett's heard about being traded, having Flip get fired, and then being back. So uh, we'll see what that goes with Minnesota. I mean, that's still a few years down the road. So
I
NBA's
mean, why not though? I mean, it's
he's the face of the franchise. I mean,
that. In do you have a better solution? This is a team that will, and I'm not here to like this. Oh, it's just dogging on bringing this team. No, this
no, go
team
ahead.
will not win anything. you got so beneficially lucky getting Kevin Garnett for a
Yep.
short amount of time on your franchise. It's
Yep.
almost like getting Brady for the Bucks for a couple of years.
Yep.
That type of trade in the NFL, NBA, it's not going to happen again. And it
Or
didn't.
win,
Justin,
Broncos.
Justin, I respect your opinions and stuff, but to say the big ticket's a Celtic rate, whew, there's so many Celtics that are been there a lot longer than Garnett.
That's no, I wouldn't say that. I say he
brought him back to relevancy. I'll give you that, but
yeah, no, Paul Pierce would no. Larry Bird, no.
Yeah, no, James, if they move, then we don't deserve an NBA team here, in any near future. But they've already came out and said that I'm trying to think of their GM right now. It's not Stern. Anyways, they said that it would need every team vote pretty much to move them, because I know they want take them to Seattle and stuff, or Vegas or wherever. But so hopefully the Wolves don't move anytime soon. But if they do, then I will not see a professional basketball team in Minnesota anymore. So,
but that won't magically solve their problem. Like, I
no,
get what they're trying to do, but it's not going to be like, oh my gosh, they moved. Now they're going to be start winning and doing all these different things. Like, it's just, it's not going to solve it. It's just going to be the same thing, unfortunately.
Well, and that's the thing here in Minnesota is, I mean, we got the ownerships that want to spend money, but it's the media that, oh, why would they want to go play in the cold and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I know some players have said that I don't want to go up there. It's cold. I get that. But
you're playing indoors.
Yeah, you're playing indoors most of the time. I mean, but
it's like for Vikings, it's like you're playing indoors.
yeah, I mean, I agree with James. I mean, Vegas, Seattle need the Sonics back. I mean, there's talk. I mean, I think Seattle's getting close to getting an NFL or NBA team.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Vegas will be right around the corner with an NBA
Watch
team.
them get a little bit good and let Kevin Durant join that team.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
again.
Yeah. So moving on. I mean, I don't really have much. John, do you got any topics or anything you want to throw out there to discuss a little bit? It's a little open forum today.
I know it'd be a short show. I'm just looking forward towards the playoffs and kind of see Isaiah's complete meltdowns happen, because looking at for the NFC West, like you said, Big B, the 49ers have to win out. And they're not beating the Rams. They're not beating the Rams. I won't talk about the other team they're facing, but they're not beating the Rams. And so if you can't win out, doesn't that mean they're out of the playoffs?
Well,
it's complicated for San Francisco. I think I have it too. But
wait a minute here. Why did that just?
We're looking at the playoff rankings right now. Let's see. So right now it's Buffalo's 9-6, right? So
is my ESPN app really messed up right now, or? Oh wait, I see what I did here. There we go.
The Bills are 9-6, right?
Yeah.
So what it is right now?
Tampa. For some reason, okay.
No. Okay, I have for the 49ers, they can clinch a playoff spot if they win.
Yep.
And if the Saints lose, or they could tie. 49ers can tie. And the Saints can lose. Vikings can lose or tie. And the Falcons can lose or tie. So basically, we're going to say they have to win and the Saints have to lose in order to get a playoff spot.
That's for San Fran, right?
Yes.
But now think about it. Now you have a rookie quarterback who this is a whole. You could say, he's learning the system, but that's off the field. That's totally different than on the field. And so, putting in the last two, that's literally it's their season. Like, imagine a pressure on a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, but I think overall though, I think if the Niners and Eagles both win out, it doesn't matter what anybody else does. So because that would
Or
give them.
if the 49ers just win and the Saints lose, they're in automatically.
Yeah, and I would say the same for Eagles because if
The
the Eagles win,
Eagles,
that'll give them 9 wins. Minnesota, Atlanta, and Saints all lose. That's 2
yeah.
games left. So
Well, the Eagles have to win, Vikings have to lose, and the Saints will have to lose in order
yeah,
to get into the playoffs for the Eagles.
yeah. So like I said before, Vikings could be eliminated before their game on Sunday because Saints or the Niners and Eagles both win. That's 9 wins, and going to Green Bay, that's going to be a tough game to win there, no matter how good your team is. So
Yeah, and like you were saying, the Eagles have to win if the Vikings lose in order for that to happen, and then a bunch of other stuff.
yeah. So right now, I mean, there's 3 teams I know of that all they have to do is worry about themselves, and that's Miami, the Niners, and the Eagles. They all they have to do is win out. And speaking of the Dolphins, you start off 1-7, you rattle off 7 straight. You're the first team to ever have a 7-game losing streak and a 7-game winning streak in the same season, and you're still in the playoff hunt. What's that say about the Miami Dolphins?
I see. It says more about Brian Flores because so many people say, "Oh, it's because look what Tua is doing. Tua is really improving." Let's look at his numbers, and I'm not here to discredit him, but
Yep.
198, 196, 244, 230, 273, 158. Like it's so up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yep.
So it's like people always want to put it on Tua because there's just been such a low expectation, low
Yep.
amount of production.
Yeah.
It's not because of Tua. It's because of Brian Flores and that defense is stepping up.
Yeah, no, that defense, just like James just said, defensive special teams have stepped up. I saw on ESPN they said they've been giving up 11 points per game in the last 7 games that they've won.
Exactly, and
Oh.
that's the reason because how accurate Tua has been. Because in the last, let's be honest, in the last 3 games, he's had 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Yep.
That's not going to win you. That's not going to get you a 7-game winning streak. But I
Nope.
guess if I say that, then I'm a hater instead of literally telling you all the
Yeah.
I mean,
truth.
So Justin has a comment here earlier. Matt Ryan will win. He's facing the Bills this week, so
Yeah, they're not beating
don't
the
see that.
Bills.
they're
No.
if it was a closer game, I said yeah, maybe Atlanta has a shot, but it's a 14-point spread.
so
I don't think Atlanta's
And
going
this is
into
the
Buffalo
Bills
winning.
coming off of like an 89% chance to win a division. They're trying to win a division.
Oh yeah,
And they don't want to face the Colts in the first round.
nope.
So here's a crazy thing. All the Bengals have to do is win, and they're in the playoffs.
Win on Sunday or win the last 2
Yeah.
games?
No, just win.
Oh,
Win
On
this
Sunday.
week, and they're in.
Who
Well, yeah.
are we playing this weekend? I want
Steelers.
to see. Oh, dude, I
believe
can't
it's
wait
the
to
Steelers.
I can't wait to blow up Isaiah's phone. Hey Isaiah, guess who made the playoffs? My Bengals. Oh wait, are
Is
your
that
Niners in
correct,
yet?
Big B?
Oh wait.
the Bengals play. Yep. No.
Okay, maybe it was the Browns.
Browns play the Steelers. Bengals play the Chiefs
Oh crap, that's
at
right.
home.
Yeah, like
It's
So
a
that
slim
might be-
chance.
that
It's a
might
slim
be-
chance.
okay,
That might
yeah.
be a game of the week right there. I mean,
It's
Bengals,
not like
Chiefs.
if this is the Bills or like the Titans. I mean, okay, it's different. But the
Mhm.
Bengals, they're still young. They don't have the experience. They don't have the offensive line. They still don't have the running game by committee like the Chiefs or the Bills or the Titans do. So,
Yep.
oh my God, Isaiah just texted me Trey area. Oh my God.
Well,
It's
I mean,
begun.
Don't tease him.
I'm not. I'm just saying it's begun.
To address James' comment, I disowned my Broncos back in September when not because I can handle losing, but when you purposely for me put up mediocrity and don't put up your best forefront, I have no respect for you as an organization.
He's a Bengals fan, so he's rooting for that game. Just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to sit here. It's like a discussion with Steven on MI6. I give him all the credit in the world to have the Vikings back and thinking they're going to win these next 2 games and then go into Green Bay and win in the playoffs.
He's smoking a bunch of dope. That's not going to happen. You're not beating Green Bay.
No, and the thing is,
not.
I put out just a jokingly bet. I'm like, you want to bet that? He goes, well, yeah, I want an 8-point spread. Well, no, I'm not going to give you an
You're
8-point
gonna
spread
lose
if
that
you think
8-point spread.
if you think they're going to go in there and win. I mean, what's an 8-point spread going to do to you? Just take my money, if anything. But no,
I would give the chances of the Minnesota Timberwolves making the play-in tournament than the Vikings beating the Packers this week.
I would definitely agree with you with that.
I would put
Timberwolves
$20
are
on that right there.
Timberwolves are healthy. When Timberwolves are healthy, they're fun to watch. And Minnesota's the same way, but you just don't know what Minnesota team's going to show up.
And they just don't have enough players on defense, even when they're healthy, because again, we've already been through the Kirk Cousins contract, but you're not beating Green Bay.
No.
If
Let's not say not because they did it last year when they were about ready to blow it up, and they went into Green Bay and destroyed them, and then that's what kept everybody's their jobs here in Minnesota.
But you got to think about it too, and we talked about it kind of briefly. Minnesota's a dome team.
Yep.
They're playing in very cold weather.
Yep.
There's some of them haven't experienced that. I can't say that 100%, but you kind of have to assume that.
Well, I would bet right now every practice Minnesota's had for the last 2 weeks has been outside.
I hope
Get
so.
ready for this game.
But
And
even
it
then,
might be
but you
Rodgers'
can't. But you
final
but
regular
you-
season game.
yeah. But Rodgers and the Packers are playing for the number 1 seed, home field
remember-
advantage throughout the playoffs. So
Remember,
they're not going to come in lightly, and they don't want to get swept by Minnesota.
Remember, the Packers are undefeated at home this year, so you really think a lonely losing record Minnesota Vikings injury-riddled team is going to destroy that? I don't. They only have a
They only got
17%
one loss.
chance that
They
they haven't lost this season at home.
Yeah, they have not lost the season at home. And Justin, what do you mean by Kirk Cousins is going to ball out? I mean, you got to give me some
1,000
numbers here.
yards,
With all due respect, I think that is incorrect.
Thielen should be back this week. They're saying
No,
that
he's on IR. He's on
Oh,
IR.
Oh, that's news to me.
So,
But you're getting Dalvin Cook back.
Okay,
you
Dalvin
also got
Cook.
to remember, this is not the same Packers defense of the past 3 to 4 years.
No.
I'm not saying they're for real because they're kind of up and down, but they're better. Aaron Jones and did you see that Scantling, all these guys that are considered not extra good options at receiver position, they're great. But the Vikings have a 17% chance to make the playoffs.
Yep.
17%.
And I think I think going into the Sunday game, if the Niners and Eagles both win, I think that goes to like 6%, if not lower. And that's before the Vikings even take the field.
Look, we should hold a funeral service for the Vikings season once they don't make the playoffs, and we'll all come in here and say a few words.
All right. So looking at the Vikings, because you guys said Thielen was on the injury report, I have not seen him.
Yeah, they made that official today.
They made that official. Okay. No, I trust you guys. Like I said, I just haven't heard nothing because from what I heard from Sport Talk Radio here is that they're expecting Thielen to play. So, yep, there it is. Was placed on injury reserve Wednesday. So, yeah, we're out with him. Dalvin Cook still questionable. Bison Johnson, receiver, is placed on injury reserve. So, yeah, it's going to be, if the Vikings win, I'll admit I'll be shocked right now, and you guys can everybody can come back and say, hey, you're wrong about your team. Yeah, I'm wrong. So, but I don't think the Vikings are going to win that game. As much as I want them to. So what else we got, Chris? You got anything? I mean, anything you see? Anything you want to bring up? Any wacky sports
I think we brought it up in the chat earlier. Aaron Rodgers kind of questioning if he's coming back next year.
Dude, if they win it, he's coming back, and if he goes to Denver next year, I'm throwing a tantrum, because here's imagine this: if there are rumors about them selling the team and Peyton Manning does come part owner, and having Aaron Rodgers in the building, That would be a very fun, interesting duo on how that would work.
You'll be going, I'm a Broncos fan again.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not pulling that Isaiah. No. Don't be belling that. And I will say though, the Colts, I will give them full credit. You started the season off 0-3.
Yep.
And their chances, and usually this, I think there was a stat, I can't remember exactly what it said, but teams that start 0-3 have like a super, super low, not even 10% chance to make the playoffs. Now they have a 96% chance of
Yep.
making the playoffs. That to me shows a complete team. Offensive line, quarterback that can be a game manager, but can be mobile, and a very, very good running back.
Well, I mean, look at the Chiefs too. They win. They win the West.
Yeah. I mean, but that's like saying, we talk about the MVP controversy all the time. Who's going to win it? I mean, John, you just laid it out for the Colts. I mean,
if he didn't win it, I'm literally going to start a petition to fire everybody.
I mean, he's probably not going to win it,
but he's in the conversation.
Taylor? I mean, 1,600 yards, 17 touchdowns, averaging 100 yards per game. I mean, I don't know how you cannot put him in the MVP race.
Think about these last 3 weeks: 32 carries, 29. Yep. Averaging, let's see, in the past 3 games, 108. I'm gonna do the math real quick. Yep. 108 plus 170 plus 143. That's 421 carries in the last 3 games against Arizona.
You mean yards?
Yes, averaging the last 3 games altogether.
Yep.
And if you do 56, that's almost 90 plus carries. And then I guarantee that could be dangerous come playoff time.
Yep.
But I think that's a story people need to kind of talk about more, because this is a team that we basically read off after week 3, week 4, and look what they're doing.
Yeah, no, they definitely are showing that they can hold in there with and without Carson Wentz. So
I think Taylor's in the conversation, but they're going to give it to a quarterback.
Of course they're going.
I agree. It just makes me so mad and annoyed because it's like,
what if Diggs breaks the interception record?
He'll win defensive.
Well, he'll definitely be defensive player of the year, but
the NFL is so quarterback happy, and it frustrates me because not because of we support quarterbacks. It's that there are so many great players we've seen over the years. Imagine the likes of Calvin Johnson and Peyton Hillis for 1 year back in the day. And, of course, thankfully, you had Adrian Peterson in 2012, which that alone should put him in the Hall of Fame because only 10 running backs have won the award by themselves. And so I think you should kind of do it like you did back in the day. Back in the day, when a running back won it, you had a quarterback and a running back. Maybe you should share it. Again, I don't know.
I think they should have every position, every key position, win something, get some kind of recognition.
Oh, they do. They had those minor awards.
Yeah.
But
they don't have receiver of the year or.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, so
linebacker of the year, best.
Yeah, it looks like the last time the quarterback did not win the award was Tomlinson in 2006, if that's what I'm reading.
Yeah, Dan Tomlinson, LT, won. He had the rushing title that year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too.
They had 32 touchdowns that year, so he was phenomenal. Oh, actually, technically, no, sorry. It was Adrian Peterson in 2012 because the year before, he had that torn ACL.
And 2012. I'm sorry, I did overlook that.
That's okay. Right. That was kind of thinking because the year before, torn ACL for running backs, you're not the same. Potentially, your career is over. Yeah. Blah blah blah. And then now you go from that to winning MVP and having that. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, I definitely get it. But there was a year Lawrence Taylor won it in '86. Looks like the last defensive player to win it. It was 97. Barry Sanders and Favre won it together.
That was good.
Yeah.
Wasn't there for it, but that was a good decision on that.
Yeah, no doubt. And then you had 3 Rams winning it in a row. But
One
Yeah,
twice.
I mean, it's definitely a quarterback award.
Yeah.
You know, they need to fix that somehow.
But it's like
Here's one: Is Adrian better than Barry Sanders? No.
I think they're in this
No.
very similar
You-
category, but I wouldn't put them apart. That it did. I'm not saying it's controversial. I think if he had
If
more
they
years than Barry Sanders, he would have had a better rushing yard than Emmitt Smith.
if
But he,
Yeah.
if they would count Barry Sanders running back and forth to behind the line of scrimmage and all that, he would have broken
Right.
Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith's record so much. But
yeah,
Barry
Yeah.
Sanders is
I
one of
think
a
it's
kind.
close. I think they're very similar.
Yeah, I give
Because
But
there's
similarities.
speed like early on in his career, but again,
they're similar, but
but
two
Barry
different
Sanders is
styles
much
of football.
faster. AP was more physical with some speed.
Yep.
Barry Sanders was
Barry
just speed
Sanders
and
could stop
elusive.
on a dime and go 0 to 60 in a matter of less than a second. So I mean, they're good in their own way. Uh, I mean, what about Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton? I mean, to me, those are the top four running backs ever. You
Well, you
know,
got to think about when they played.
yeah, exactly. You know, Barry Sanders and Payton, I think, crossed paths a little bit back when it was more of a 50-50 league. You know, Peterson, you got in there, you know, started getting into a pass league. Um, so, yeah, it's tough. I mean, Marshall
Well,
Faulk, you know, he was a first real pass catching running back. He did it all. I mean, Isaiah's coming. Who cares? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Isaiah, if you're around, jump on for a few more minutes. Going to start wrapping up the show here, but
I
so
think I had a topic. I had a hot take.
yeah,
That I don't know if I want to talk about people that get pissed.
yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
I think the running back position is overrated.
Yes,
Now, and let me say before people, and I said this when I used to record in my car. When I talk about, I'm not saying running backs aren't important. I think you don't need a 300 plus yard or 300 plus carry, 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns, Pro Bowl, All Pro to win the Super Bowl, give or take with a running back or two in the past 15 to 20 years, because that hinges because your whole offense, your whole team is on that. Look what Tennessee, a Ryan Tannehill type offense will not win a Super Bowl. I'm sorry, folks, to burst your bubble of the NFL. This isn't the back in the day with the Bears with that great defense and Walter Payton running the football. And I just see it with Christian McCaffrey. That's solely him. And you overpay. You should not overpay at the running back position. You should not pay him big. Ezekiel Elliott shouldn't have gotten paid that much money. I know people, oh, it breaks their hearts, blah, blah, blah. Well, think about it. You had Tony Pollard, bring in Ezekiel Elliott. You shouldn't have paid him that much money. Because now look at the Panthers with McCaffrey. He's injured. May not be 100%
yep.
next year. You switch P.J. Walker,
Henry.
Sam Darnold, Derrick Henry, though. You had back in the day with another running back with the Titans back in the day, Chris
Eddie
Johnson,
George?
phenomenal player.
Oh.
Chris Johnson, because he got paid a 5-6 year plus contract by Tennessee after Vince Young left. And so I just think that, again, I agreed almost with what Justin is saying. I think if Saquon continues the way he's going, he's a bust. Because the problem, I'm not saying running backs aren't important. I think that's where people kind of misconceptualize what I'm talking about. I'm just saying you cannot have a running back being your bread and butter of your offense, of your team in this day and age and win a Super Bowl. And that to me is what people get mad about that. I'm like, let's look at this, because I was so convinced of this. I had a notebook of all the Super Bowl champions from 1950s to now. Because if I'm going to prove a point, let's look at Super Bowl champions real quick. So this
Okay.
topic kind of, because this is back before I had a computer, so I'm going to make sure all of my stats are correct. Let's look at this. Let's just go to 2000 to now. And I'll do it real quick, so I know we got to end the show here. And let's go. Okay, 2000. Hey, he had the Rams, Marshall Falk. Okay, you also had Isaac Bruce, Kurt Warner, Ravens, had the defense, Patriots, defense, Tom Brady, Tampa Bay, defense, New England, Pittsburgh. I'll give it with Pittsburgh because you already had Jerome Bettis, the bus back in the day. Jerome, you won that Super Bowl. But
Are
you
you
look at the
talking about? Are you
Ravens.
talking about Jerome Bettis's last Super Bowl? Because he wasn't used that much.
No, that Super Bowl with Bill Cowher back in the day.
Okay.
And so, besides that, maybe again, Seattle's better was not Marshall Lynch, phenomenal, elite, future Hall of Famer, defense, and a game manager and rookie quarterback. My Denver Broncos, defense, Eagles. You had a very good quarterback who should have been the quarterback to this day, and he had some great defensive players. Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
the Bucks, Tom Brady, and so I just don't think what people just don't really want to understand is that I'm not devaluing the running back position. I'm just saying if we overpay the running back position, you will not win a Super Bowl. Look at the Cowboys. I'm not here to like. I'm just saying like let's say it works or it doesn't work or long term, then or another team also. Then what do you do about all these different positions? And sorry, folks, I think we have a computer virus because I just saw some like whatever on other end. But what's up, the delusional Skip Bayless?
What's up, Isaiah?
What's up, guys? I'm back.
Wait, you
You're not
left?
Cam Newton.
Wait, don't say that because once Cam Newton said that he went 0-23 in his last 13 starts. So 0-13, I'm sorry.
Well, that means Isaiah's going to go whatever in his football
No,
pick.
no, if you want to do that, let's go back because I think Chris, you posted that stat though. Once Cam Newton was back,
Oh yeah,
he had like how many
he's like
touchdowns?
0-11 or something like that.
So no, don't say I'm back because that clearly haunts people.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? I just came back from dinner with my family. It was great.
At McDonald's?
What?
At McDonald's?
Wait, you know
I
you
wish.
have the dollar menu, right?
No, it was at a Chinese restaurant. But you know, I was watching this show while I was eating, and you know, there's some stuff that makes you go like, you know, how on earth is John Alcorn even a credentialed sports media?
Wait, hold on.
Whoa.
This is the same guy that said Ian Book the other day would have 5 passing touchdowns, and I wish I could have access to the streamer account because I have those videos. We also said 3 rushing touchdowns also, and you said Sean Payton should be fired, which is absolutely delusional.
And I still think that Sean Payton should be fired.
Why?
How?
Give me a good reason why he should be fired.
Because Sean Payton is one of the most overrated coaches in the NFL.
What was the record with Jameis Winston before he got injured? 5-2, 6-2. It does matter because it's part of your argument that you don't have.
Is Ian Book a franchise quarterback?
Ian Book?
Yes.
I think right now the jury is still out on him. I think that
there's no jury.
If you're the Saints, you start him for the final 2 games. If you're the Saints, if I'm the Saints, I would start him for the final 2 games.
Well,
because we know that. Well, I mean, yeah, they're still in the playoffs, but come on, guys, they're playoff. They're not going to the playoffs this year, and even if they do, they'll get splattered to the first round.
I don't know.
See, you can never criticize my takes because I've seen some of your videos when you said this. You said this all season that Zach Wilson's the best quarterback in the AFC East, and how's that looking right now? So before you start criticizing my takes, I would look back because we got a lot of these videos that are very incriminating of you. So I would be very careful.
So Isaiah, you say Peyton should be fired. Who would you put in there? Randall Cunningham? I mean, you know, according to
he
you,
was a 2-time Super Bowl winning coach.
Yeah.
Who I would put in there to replace Sean Payton?
Peyton's not going anywhere.
I mean,
I'll tell you right now, Peyton, Belichick, pretty much are gonna.
I honestly would hire a college coach, to be honest with you. I would hire Kirby Smart from Georgia.
But he's not going to leave Georgia, though, so that makes no sense.
For the Saints, one of the top organizations in the NFL. I mean,
think about it. Let's say
their coach.
There you go.
Let's say it all goes well with Georgia. Which I don't.
Sean Payton. Don't say that. Sean Payton beat Tom Brady twice without a starting quarterback.
Wait, I'm sorry, but Justin, who won the division? Who won when it actually mattered?
Oh no, you're exactly
Buccaneers
right.
won the division last year,
Yeah,
even though they're in the
right.
The division, yeah.
So
The New Orleans Saints, I thought that Monday was Sean Payton's worst coached game of his career. The game plan was absolutely terrible. I mean,
How are you supposed to game
you
plan
had
when
a-
he's
you
never
had a
practiced
rookie
with the number
quarterback
1 or
in.
2 or 3
Yeah,
reps?
but
It
no, but
doesn't
here's
make
the
any
thing.
sense.
Here's the thing. When you have a rookie quarterback, right, making his first start, you don't have him drop back into the pocket for most of the time that he did. What you do is get the ball out.
So how
quick.
are you supposed to assess his skills? How are you supposed to assess his skills at all as a quarterback?
Well, but you make him comfortable, though. You got to make him comfortable.
You don't have
early
time to
on.
get comfortable. It's his
But-
first game.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
that makes no sense.
throw him to the wolves.
you
Well,
gotta
if
learn
you throw him to
somehow.
the Wolves, of course he's going to struggle and look like how he did. I don't blame
But that's
Monday's
how we
loss.
grow. That's how we grow.
I don't blame
That's
Monday's
called being
loss
an
on him,
adult.
but I blame
So,
it
Isaiah.
primarily on Sean Payton.
So would you say the same thing about the Niners when they put Lance out there his first start?
Yeah,
Did they do
I blame
bad?
Shanahan for that because he ran him 50 times in that game.
He called
But
50
that's how
running
he felt
plays for.
comfortable.
You're telling me Shannon called 50 quarterback sneaks that game?
Not 50, I'm exaggerating the number, but it's
But
like
I'm just saying.
yeah.
There's no way that Shanahan called told
It's
Troy
not
Lance to run
50.
his.
It was probably more like 35.
But still, 35.
There's a big
Yeah.
difference, though.
I guarantee there's no way a coach is calling 30 running plays for your quarterback. Trey Lance did that on his own.
Well, Trey Lance is like not a good passer. He doesn't suck. He's more
Oh, sucker. What
Lamar
school did he go
Jackson
to?
right now.
It's not like North
with his
Dakota
feet.
produces Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Oh, wait, they don't.
Well, we'll make history. We're changing that in a couple of years, but that's a different story for a different day.
I
Oh, a
think
couple
So,
years
wait,
now.
he had
hold
one
on.
and done.
You said in a couple of years. So that means you're
In a
admitting you're
couple
not
of
winning much or doing anything this year. Thank you. The case
No,
is closed.
no.
I
Well,
think he's one and done.
I think the Niners, like, of course, you're going to have to start Trey Lance now because Jimmy G, with whatever injury he's got, that torn UCL on his thumb. I mean, why would you put Jimmy G in when he clearly couldn't throw the ball against the I'm forgetting off the top
What
of my
does
head.
that tell you? That they know Trey Lance isn't ready and rightfully
Well, that's
so.
why you put Trey Lance
He's
in.
gonna
Trey
have-
Lance is going to be your starter now. Like, you're not going to put in a severely injured Jimmy G. You're going to have to put in Trey Lance now. And
So
I
that's
mean-
Shanahan's fault?
for what? For the injury or what?
Yeah, for playing Trey Lance now.
Yeah, that
No,
should be
he has
ground
to do
corruption,
it.
right?
He has to do it. He has no choice.
Well,
So
Jim-
if the
I
Niners
think-
go 0-2 these next two games, is Shanahan's fault?
I would
Or
say
is it
so.
Trey Lance's fault?
that doesn't make sense. I'm confused
doesn't
on
make
that.
sense.
It's not his fault for starting Lance, but yet he's going to get the blame
Well,
because
but he's
he has
forced
to
to
start
play
Lance.
Lance.
Apparently,
Because-
adjusting a new offense in 2 games is going to miraculously change it. No, that's not how this works. An offense
The
is very different.
49ers are they have to win today or this week in order to make the playoffs. That's all.
They're not beating the Rams.
No.
Well, they're
No.
beating the Texans, though. They beat the Texans, and then
Well, if they beat the
Saints
Texans,
lose.
then they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Texans also beat who was it this past week?
Oh, the Chargers. The
Chargers.
Chargers are one of the most inconsistent teams in the NFL.
That's
So-
true.
wait,
That's true.
inconsistent. Wait, when's the last time the Niners won a Super Bowl? Oh wait, you weren't born yet.
When's the last time we went to a Super Bowl?
Wait, that doesn't matter. You still lost. So what's your point?
My point is that we're more relevant than the Chargers have ever been. Sorry to all the fans in San Diego. I don't mean to offend you.
I don't think the OJB curse lives on. I mean,
I
he's playing
think
he's playing
Garoppolo.
really good for the Rams.
I think Garoppolo played his last snap for the 49ers.
He did.
He-
He did.
He
Yeah.
played his last snap a while back, but I know exactly what you mean. It's
Yeah.
his future was already. He didn't have a future after the 2019 Super Bowl.
Well, not even
Let's
heard
be
that.
honest.
They're moving on after this season, no matter what.
Right. Exactly. And so
He might go back to New England to back up Field.
I mean,
Not
get like a
Field,
veteran quarterback
Young.
in. Well, he'll be like a Ryan Fitzpatrick type role. He'll be mostly
Yeah.
on the sidelines,
I
but getting to
speaking of-
mentor him,
He-
I think
he's
would
gonna
be really
retire.
interesting.
I think he'll retire. He's been on.
You think Jimmy
He's
G's
not
gonna
He's
retire?
not going to retire.
No.
He'll be-
Fitzpatrick. Right.
Oh yeah, I can see Fitzpatrick.
I can see that. I can see that happening because this could have been a special season potentially for Washington, and it went down the drain very, very quickly. So
Who picked Washington to win the NFC East?
You
you picked the Giants to win the NFC East, so I wouldn't be talking. How
I
do the
picked
Giants
the
do this
Cowboys.
year? The Giants are back, right?
Hey, the
They're
Giants
back
had
to being
injuries.
eliminated from the playoffs.
So did Washington. Did you see that Montez Sweat, Trace Young, quarterback? They had plenty more injuries. They didn't even have a starting quarterback.
Even with Montez Sweat and Chase Young, their defense was atrocious, man. Did you watch them play?
Dude, I'm talking about injury wise.
Yeah, dude.
Well, that's one thing. That's one thing with the Giants is they've gotten stuck with the injury bug every year. I mean, they're
Well,
talking
think about
about
it,
something being jinxed. The Giants are
You
jinxed.
basically re-signed Leonard Williams to a big deal, not because he was the greatest in his position. I'm gonna guarantee he had some very good plays, but overall, you didn't really have a whole lot of options.
Chris,
so
you'll like
you
this
basically
comment
settled.
from James.
They should.
What do you say?
And
I don't know.
they should
He
win.
says honestly, the Giants will win the division every season for the future.
Yeah, that's true. And
That is true. I think that is very true. So, well, with that being said, guys, Isaiah, before we go, your picks for the college playoffs. Who do you got?
Oh god.
Like, are you talking for each game or the winner of the national championship?
Who's winning? Who's winning this week right now?
Oh, okay. Let's start with Alabama, Cincinnati. I'm gonna do it. Give me the Bearcats. Cincinnati will pull the upset on Alabama. Like Alabama's their secondary is terrible. Their defense, if they can't get pressure on Desmond Ridder, this is going to be a long, long day for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And don't sleep on Cincinnati's defense. They're very physical. They can stuff the run. They are a very good defense. They are a very talented bunch. So give me the Bearcats to upset Alabama. And, I mean, Georgia and Michigan, I don't really know because, Georgia was my pick to win the SEC. Michigan was my pick to win the Big Ten. So it's like two of the teams that I picked going up against each other. Can I pick a tie? Can I pick a tie in that game?
no, somebody has to win.
Give me Georgia. Give me Georgia and Kirby Smart. I think that Michigan, even though I love them, I'm not really that big of a fan of their offense. The running game, they play like Georgia. That's the thing. Like if Georgia stuffs the running game, forces McNamara to throw the football, I don't really believe in him, and I don't think he will be able to carry Michigan to a win if he's forced to throw the football. And I think that Michigan's defense, even though they played good, I just don't think that they will be able to handle Georgia's running game. And once Georgia's running game gets going, it opens things up for either Stetson Bennett or JT Daniels in the passing game. So give me Georgia to win that game. Give me Georgia, Cincinnati in the title game.
All right. Well, James said Bama wins it all. I don't want it to happen. I'm, like I said earlier, I'm going Michigan, Cincy to win those games. So, but Justin's chiming in with some breaking news. Sad. Washington's Montez Sweat's brother was killed in a Virginia shooting. Prayers goes out to that family and Sweat. Hopefully they're okay, and sorry to hear about your brother passing. But with that being said, guys, it's past that time. So, Chris, give us some time here, 30 seconds. What's going on coast to coast wise?
Coast to coast wise, I think tomorrow we're doing our New Year's
Yep.
show, and
That's the plan, but
That's
things
the plan.
can change.
I
I believe around 7 your guys' time, 9 Central, I believe.
okay.
I think that's the time, but I know nothing's really set in stone right now and subject to change. So,
And then we'll have all our other programming that we have, and leading up to this weekend, and just stay with Coast to Coast.
So Isaiah, thanks for joining the last few minutes here. What do you got to say?
What I've got to say is I got an Austin Reeves jersey coming up soon. I got an Ian Book jersey on its way as well, so that's
You're
exciting.
not. You're crapping. All right, you
No,
ordered a
my-
book jersey.
Oh,
Yeah.
he ordered.
Well, not an Ian Book jersey, but you know those Ian Book New Orleans Saints socks? I actually purchased them.
Oh my god!
$21. But I got a Reeves jersey coming in. I got a book stocks coming in as well. So that's going to be great. Can't wait to show them on Kicking It with Isaiah and Ace. But looking forward to Kicking It with Isaiah and Ace tomorrow. I know that Ace won't be there, so it's only going to be me. It's going to be a solo edition of Kicking It
No, it's
with
not.
Isaiah
No,
and
it's
Ace.
not. No, it's
Yeah,
not. I will be there.
Oh, I think I might even be there. I'm off, so we'll see what happens. So
Let's have some fun.
we might have Chrissy Wilson
Isaiah,
come in and roast
I
Isaiah.
will report the video for spam and harassment if you do a solo show for Kicking It with Isaiah.
Yeah. So, John, what you got going on?
Can't say anything just yet, but I'm just looking forward to the new year. We got a lot of things and other stuff going on, and we got a MI6 Sports Network New Year's Eve special tomorrow night. So I don't know who's going to be on, but I know it's going to be a good show.
Yeah. So, with that being said, keep checking out Coast to Coast Network. Also, MI6, always throwing out great shows and content. Thanks everybody, James, Isaiah. If I missed anybody else's comments, thank you guys for commenting. Rest in peace to John Madden, as we covered earlier in the show, iconic forecaster. So with that being said, check us all tomorrow for Kicking It with Isaiah, our sports New Year's Eve show, and then just keep checking out Coast to Coast all week long. So for Crispy Bacon, John Elkhorn, Isaiah, Cam Newton, I'm back. I am Big B. We'll check you guys all out another time. Have a good one.
Stay crispy.